Yo.
Hey, what's up?
How you
What do
doing?
I got from my background
I
today?
figured you'd love it. Do you
Oh,
recognize
that's
it?
that's pretty cool.
It's
It's kind of hard for me to see it from
it's
here. It looks like some
BFA.
WoW stuff.
Yeah, WoW BFA.
Some BFA.
I figured it was
Nice.
topical, you know?
Yeah, man. It is. It is. I've actually been playing a lot of WoW recently. I've been getting back into it. I've been having a
Gross.
blast.
Gross.
Been having a blast.
Keep that to yourself.
I have. All right. This is something that I don't do often.
Okay.
And you have no idea what I'm about to do.
I know. What are you doing?
Chat. You already know. Chat's already doing it for me.
What is
Do you
this?
see that? Can you read what that says?
Fluff stole? What is that?
Fluff stole. And then it's your emote.
Oh
My build.
God.
I had
Oh
to,
my
man. I had
God.
to.
What a rat.
So
Only I
the
can
other
leech
night-
off your Quinn, okay? This is the one.
So the other night, like this build topic that we talked about, was it last week or the week before? This has been going for a little bit.
Yeah.
Did you see that? Did chat spoil it for you and tell you about it ahead
No,
of time?
I've never seen that. Legit.
Awesome. Good job, chat.
If
I love
it
you
was,
guys.
if I'd seen it, I might have just thought it was my build because the text is exactly the same.
Oh, I copied it 100%. It was key. I even stole the colors and everything. So, what happened is, that whole build diversity thing, is it my build, your build, the ownership part of it. We were talking about that. And, so the other night you hosted me and then we started talking and somebody goes, "Hey, how's Lord Fluffy's Crack Crusader build working out?"
Oh,
And they're like,
God.
my build. And they're like, I always wanted to see somebody play it. And they're just feeding off this whole situation that happened. And then, so, I'm rolling with it and I'm like, yeah, Fluff let me borrow his build and act like it was mine, but I had to pay him for it and stuff.
Yeah.
Just, messing. So that's where the idea came
Great.
up from. It's
I'm
funny.
glad. I actually kind of feel
So-
bad sometimes because, like, I'll, like, periodically, I work, full time, but I'll pop in, like, Quinn's stream and shoot the shit. And, like, just randomly, I'll just see, like, oh, I see you're running Lord Fluffy's build or people spamming my email. And I'm just like, he's got to be, like, so annoyed sometimes.
I get that too. A lot of times I watch streamers and I don't say anything because I don't want to bring any attention to myself. Not that I would, but in case it did, I don't want to be like, "Oh, hey, what's up, ThaPChild? How you doing?" Like,
Sure.
You're in his stream, watch his stream,
Sure.
So I guess I could make a troll account and just
Nice.
do that. But yeah, it's funny, man. I'm gonna end up deleting it. I thought it would be funny just to play a little joke tonight, though.
Dickhead.
Oh man, so how is your season? What happened this week? Anything good?
I got a 115 down. That's actually my highest
Congratulations.
ever, which is crazy. I'm already higher Paragon than I was last season at the end.
Yeah, I saw that, man. You have been grinding hard.
Yeah.
Really
I
hard
actually
this
like
week
lost
or this season.
the ability to focus my eyes like last Sunday because I played so hard
Wow.
over the weekend. I couldn't
I saw.
see anything.
Is that why you had the shades on?
Yeah, I couldn't like. I was hoping that would help, but it didn't.
Yeah, I saw you pimping the shades, and I thought maybe you went to the eye doctor and
No.
got dilated or something.
I had like eye fatigue or some shit.
That's crazy. Get some carrots, man.
I guess.
Start eating some carrots.
Vegetables.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I literally have started doing that the last couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Difference, but
Interesting.
I did. Yeah, because I'm in the same boat, man. I get stream fatigue sometimes so bad that my brain just doesn't work. Like I feel myself like, what was I doing? And mispronouncing everything, which I do that a lot anyways, but even worse. And
Are we sure that it was functional before?
yeah, I don't know,
Okay.
but whatever little functionality was there, it's gone.
Cool.
I'll take that one. I get it. Use that
Love
emote chat.
still.
Abuse that until I delete it. Yeah, I pushed a little bit. I finally got some upgrades on my Crusader. Like I've had a really crappy season as far as drop luck. And Saturday I got 3 pieces that were nice upgrades and a really baller neck piece. So I started pushing a little bit, and I was just, I went up, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109. And I had the 110 down last night. I got a bad Rift Guardian, like 2 different times I had it. and I got bad Rift Guardian.
So are you technically maining a Crusader this season? Would you say?
Technically,
Okay.
I'm playing every class, but technically, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to end up pushing on the hardest.
Yeah.
I started playing Wave of Light Monk for the first time ever this season.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of time on it. I enjoy it though, man. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be.
We were so opposite in this game. Like I've been running a Wave of Light Monk as well. I said I was going to play some Monk this season. I think Wave of Light Monk is so sleeper. It's just the worst. It's so boring. Wave of Light. Oh, cool Oculus. Dashing Strike. Oculus. Wave of Light.
I haven't pushed hard on it, so like my reservations still aren't. I can't say exactly how I feel until you actually push on something and hit that salty stage. I think that's when you really decide if you like or dislike a build. And I haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
So I've been having fun on it though.
I would rather play for density like Wave of Light, Crusader, and stuff like that does than play for like just the crazy fishing that you do on Necro Push. You still crazy fish no matter what, but it's like I'd rather be able to kill stuff in the Rift than like skip everything.
Yeah, but you can't kill the Rift Guardian. So like my 110 pushes that I was doing last night, I can get it easy. It's not a matter of if I'm going to get it, it's just when. And I still don't have optimized gear. My drops haven't been that good this season. And that's probably my own fault for playing so many other classes too. But it's just like you can have a perfect Rift and then get the worst Rift. Like I got Gom, it's horrible because you have to keep moving out of the poison and trying to kite them.
Yeah.
And it's like I would have had the Rift with minutes left had I gotten, Saxtrus or Skeleton King, So that part feels bad. I don't know. I like them both, man. Crusader and Necro are both still my favorites to push on, and they're complete opposites. So. So I don't know, but yeah, that's my season. I got some upgrades. It feels good to get those upgrades.
Oh yeah,
finally.
I'm having
to get some things.
God tier season. I have 4 pieces primal, Rathma, 3 pestilence.
I have one primal. I have one primal. It's a Leoric's Crown, and it's not even the best roll possible. It's still average. That's the only primal I have, and I still haven't augmented 4 pieces. So that's why. I'm pushing the 110 with missing 4 augments, 1300 Paragon, so it's, I've played a lot this season, but I don't feel like I've been grinding, but maybe I'm just judging myself based on people around me.
Sure.
Like you're 1800, which is, but you've been putting in some serious work. You've been
playing a lot playing rats too. Like I'd still mostly solo, but we put more rats this season than we ever have ever.
Yep.
I want to say at the tippy top.
So an idea that I had, we were talking in stream the other night, and we were talking about blood shard changes. And I don't know, I'm going to throw this at you. Like, what if the blood, like, do you see the need for the blood shard cap in the first place? I understand why it's there. It's there to encourage people to push solo ladder.
Yeah.
That's the only reason the cap exists that I can think of. Could you see them getting rid of that? Would you like them to get rid of that? Or make it, let's say they make it like 10,000, something, just crazy, silly high.
Yeah.
And then potentially put it to where if you spend 250 blood shards at one time, you're guaranteed to get a legendary instead of gamble. Just let you drop 250 at a time. Pow, pow, pow. And get a guaranteed legendary.
I don't know about that second part, but the first part, the cap, I think the cap's kind of stupid. I think your blood shards, like you should be able to do whatever you want. If you want to save up like 50K and spend them all at once, like you should be able to do that.
I think I'm tired of the micromanagement of blood shards. It seems like every 2 or 3 or 4 rifts, you're like, oh, gotta spend.
And it would certainly make gearing alts easier, like because people do switch and be like, I gotta spend on my monk or something. Like that's dumb. So I definitely agree. I think that what it boils down to is like basically the only reason. Like the only reward you're getting for going higher and higher is the solo or is the blood shard cap. So that I feel like they would have to replace kind of like maybe what you
with something.
Yeah. To give people a reason to like. I mean, there's always a reason. Like if you're a competitive player, but maybe if you're not, like you're just basically going for that blood shard cap. So.
Yeah. It is a nice little reward though.
Yeah.
When you do get it, it is noticeable.
Yeah.
You know, when you get that rift higher,
Sure.
you know what your cap is, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden it's 10 higher. You're like, oh, that's cool. You know.
Yeah, but yeah, they should at least maybe like 100 higher per. You know, like
Right.
why not?
There are some names here. Where were you going with
Yeah,
that?
so I just wanted to we're gonna circle back to, some of the feedback that we asked for. This is kind of goes back to a couple of podcasts, where you asked for ideas and stuff like that. But I thought this one was interesting, and it kind of goes back to what we've already talked about. But basically, this guy's add more Romaldi's gifts, and we've talked about more consumables in this game. And he was saying okay, add one that's always going to give it a socket to a helmet, or add socket to jewelry and stuff like that. He goes on to say maybe add a red Romaldi's gift that you could keep a main stat gem on it, which I thought would be kind of stupid for armor because we basically already have that with augments. But say you could add an emerald to your weapon already, which would be so you have 130 crit damage built in. It's a small power creep, but I mean I'd be for it. It's more farming for consumables. I just think this needs to be ironed out a little bit more, but it kind of goes back to that we need more consumables in this game. It's if you play a game like PoE, that's one of the great things about crafting in PoE is the consumables. There's so many consumables, and they all do a bunch of different stuff. And
so you want these consumables to be
everything we've talked about
are mods to your gear.
Yeah,
not consumables in the effect that hey, this is I'm gonna use this potion, and for our next hour I have bonus EXP.
Yeah, not that stuff. For
yeah,
the primal dusts that we've talked about. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yep, I'm with you on that.
And more time dump stuff. It's just a great thing. It's a good thing for the game. So that goes back to that. The other stuff is we're asking for set ideas. We only got a few bites last week, but this week we got a little bit more. Abuse Fair Lady says, how about a Hydra wizard build? 2-piece can now summon 3 Hydras. 4-piece reduce damage by 15% per Hydra, so 45% mitigation.
Okay.
6-piece blizzard damage does X% increase per Hydra if using matching elemental type. I'd like to see maybe not just blizzard, but other stuff be buffed by that. But that's cool. A Hydra set would be nice, I think.
Encourage you to have your Hydras out. The Hydras wouldn't do the damage for you though. They would just merely be mitigation and
apparently. Right.
Just mitigation.
So I'd like to see a shift maybe to making Hydras a pet build for Wiz. Mix it up for Wiz.
Hydra used to be a thing a while back, not that specific way, but sure. It was fun to play Hydra. I liked it. So.
For sure. And another from Chelsea Klein was a poison necro set where 2-piece all poison damage delivered in half the time, which I'm not really sure that there are any damage over time poison effects with necro, if I'm not mistaken. 4-piece 50% damage reduction per poison enemy within 15 yards. I mean, I like that people are kind of including the standard Diablo verbiage too, you can tell people actually play the game. And then he goes on to say, when 5 enemies die from poison damage, there's a poison nova that deals blot, weapon damage, which is kind of just that Herodric cube item from Act 1, the Skeleton King weapon or whatever that is.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. It does it on a timer, I thought, but maybe, I don't know.
It's over 10 enemies or something. You get a poison nova, and it's just unless they significantly power creep procs and stuff like that, those abilities are usually really, really dumb in this game. And then 6-piece poison rune skills now deal X% increased damage. Which, and I want to ask you this question. So this kind of leads me into another part. What do you feel, and how do you feel about kind of generic damage modifiers? So it sets like Anarius, where it's just 6-piece increased damage by 100% or something, whatever.
Yeah, it's very generic. I don't know. There's two thoughts. One thought is that newer players could use whatever skills they want.
Yeah.
Because they're newer players, they're not going to get it, And that's cool. They can collect the pieces, and instantly, no matter what they're doing, they're going to see this power jump.
Yeah.
The downside is that if you say X% damage on this ability, they know I need to use this ability.
Right.
And it kind of guides them to the build, you know?
Yeah.
I'm indifferent, I guess I should say. I'm more about how does the build play, because no matter what, if it's X% damage, there's going to be a best skill. There's going to be a best way to abuse it. And then it just becomes that build, that skill's the build. And it's about the play style to me. Like, do I like it or do I not like it? You know? I think if it's X ability, then you already know how it's going to play. You know, the designers are telling you, hey, this is how you're playing this set. So
yeah.
What about you?
I've actually changed my opinion about this over time. So I used to think like sets that had generic multipliers were like a good thing, but since then I've kind of changed my opinion about like where Diablo should go. And like it's like we talked about last week, where you know, if they like sets sharing abilities, like that's a big thing. Like, you know, Helltooth, Aracker both have fire bats. It's just like,
yeah, it's
so blah for the game when you can run the same skills on like a couple different sets and it doesn't play any different. Like to me, that's very, very dull. So like when you see like an Arius and like even with Trag'Ouls, really, it's just like they're kind of generic multipliers. You're gonna see the most powerful skills on the Necro, like Corpse Lancer and the mages. Like those are gonna be what's gonna get used on that set, and that's just like it's not fun for anyone. So I actually I don't like pigeonholing, but I tend to prefer the sets that do be more specific as of late, because I think they're easier to balance around too. And it goes back to what we talked about last week, where you know, if you can power creep and balance, it's going to be a lot easier if sets are very specific as opposed to being like this broad damage modifier.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. And I think it gives the developers more power to make interesting sets, because if you put just X amount of damage, they have something in mind already when they do that, I would imagine. And if they just say, let's not do that and just focus on this ability I already have in mind, then they could tweak it and play with it and then maybe design additional pieces to support it. And yeah, so I'm with you. I think that they should push you in specific directions.
Yeah.
And this is a topic that I was going to talk about a little bit later on, but it ties in so well. One of the questions that we got says, it's from Varkob, and he said, should set bonuses change each season like WoW tier sets? And I'm not sure if you're familiar with how the WoW tier sets work, but basically every tier in WoW has different skill. It's like a set on Diablo. They have different sets, but they change every time. It's never the same thing. So like every season, I guess what the question is should they change the set bonuses every season? Obviously, we would love that. I would love that. It's a huge undertaking for the developers to do that. To me, it's just like,
why change the set bonus? Like, why not just continue to add sets
to make more?
Yeah. They give more variety to the game. Don't just lock people into like a meta.
Yeah, and I agree 100%. I think that's how they kind of do it with WoW. This old sets aren't gone, even though they're useless. They're not gone.
Right.
But I would love to see them continuously change and add new things. So
yeah, I think, you know, in the direction that we've kind of talked about, that we think Diablo should go, or stuff that's not able to do 120 should be power creep to 120 and per set. I think, you know, if we focus on one set, and maybe like this season Rathmos is the most powerful, I just like, ugh. They give people like, people should be able to play what they want. And I know that like we just kind of contradicted ourselves by saying like sets should be very specific, but at least if every set was like power creep to 120, like you'd have at least 4 builds per class that are really, really good, which we can't even say right now.
They're in a spot right now where this meta has lasted for so long. This patch has lasted for so long that what class, what sets are the top tier.
Yeah,
100%. Like there's no questioning what builds are top tier.
Yeah, there's no sleeper builds out
there. So you don't have to touch those sets.
Right.
Just creep up the other ones.
Yep.
A little bit, and that would be such an easy change. I mean, I don't know if it's an easy change. It would be such an easy fix to at least make the community happy.
Yeah,
a little bit.
No doubt.
You know, So, just don't make Hammerton good. I don't want to have to play that.
I mean, you should power creep it just like everything else.
So, do you think weekly modifiers? So this is something that I was kicking around, an idea that I think, and I kind of steal this from Destiny too. Like Destiny 1 and 2 have both done this. They have modifiers, and every single week they have what they call strikes. It's like a dungeon in WoW, or you can consider it a greater rift sort of in Diablo, right? So they have their normal greater rifts, and then what if you added an additional, like, instead of heroic rift, what if you just called it, I don't know, like, well, I'll say mythic just because I can't think of a better word. Sure. So like a mythic rift, right? Yeah. And in this mythic rift, you added modifiers that change on a weekly basis. 1 week, it could be things that seem beneficial to your character. 1 week, it could be things that are detrimental to your character. Like, let's say half health is a modifier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That would suck as a modifier.
Sure.
But you could make rewards for it. You could do leaderboards for it. You could do challenges for it, like all kinds of things.
So it's like a challenge rift mode that has a specific modifier, kind of.
But every week they rotate to keep fresh. And you could also have positive things on there too.
Sure.
Like you could say 1 week holy damage is doubled, or our frost damage is doubled, or whatever the case. Yeah, you couldn't exclude classes totally that way.
Down. And we've talked about, like, so we, you know, those, like, we've talked about like 3 different modes they should have in challenge mode. Like, you could totally add this completely, like exactly what you're saying, as like another mode in challenge mode, like, for sure. Great.
And so people are saying, like, WoW challenge engines. Yeah, like a lot of games have copied this format. Like, this is, I first experienced it in Destiny personally, because that's the game I was playing at the time. But I'm sure there are many games that have stolen this system. And Destiny is what I'm super familiar with. And it does 1 positive modifier and 2 negative modifiers every week. And it's a fun, there are certain combinations that you get some weeks, and it's just so much fun because you feel like a god. You go in there and you're just destroying everything. And there are some weeks when you go in there and it's ridiculously hard. And personally, I'm like, yeah, screw this. I'm not doing heroics this week, you know? But,
no, I like it.
I would love that.
Yeah. More game types. Like, who's going to be like, nah. I mean,
yeah.
We have challenge riffs. It's a playlist right now, and it's nice that it's there, but I mean, they need to add more to it for sure.
I do the challenge rift stuff every week. I make a video, a guide for it, and it's, to be honest, man, it's not fun. I don't enjoy it at all. Yeah. Like, there's no part of it. I go in, it like this week's challenge rift is a demon hunter that's playing a LON build with multi-shot and sentries and has no movement abilities. There's no vault. There's nothing. Yeah. Why? You're not showcasing a fun build. You're showcasing the worst possible build you can make. At least
it's a build, though.
The least fun. Like, you're showcasing the least fun you could, like, the challenge rift title should say, want to know not what to do on a demon hunter? Play this. Sure. Like,
well, we've seen,
and if it's your build
where they've had like no set bonus, maybe like 4-piece, like we're wearing focus but not restraint. Like, yeah,
it's almost terrible. As bad. Yeah. It's almost as bad, you know. And it's I don't know, man. It doesn't make sense to me if somebody's handpicking these builds. Like,
I would like not someone handpicking.
I would like to punch him. Yeah. I would like to punch him in the nuts.
God, I hope it's a robot.
You know.
Yeah.
And if it's automated, like, can't you screen these before they get picked and be like, nah, randomly throw me another one. Nah, like, is there like a next button that you can hit? You know.
But that's assuming someone at Blizzard like still plays Diablo and would know that that's a bad or good build. I'm not gonna assume that that's the case.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Speaking about playing, how about the esports?
Yeah, did you see this? Okay, let me pull up the article.
So I heard a little bit about it. I didn't dive into it a whole lot. I didn't have time, actually.
Yeah, I saw this post on Reddit initially, and then I found like the official Battle.net one. I have to translate the page. Let me bring it up. But yeah, so like in China, like the boys got some esports. So they do this 24-hour competition. It's kind of like a race from Pee-wee, 24 hours. And then Basically, what happens is teams of two. This is so cool. I wish they would do this in NA. And I know they don't want to encourage people to play for like 24 hours, but still, it'd be so fun.
But in China, they don't care.
Yeah.
Where is this from? China?
Yeah,
in China, they're like, yeah, play
like
for 24 hours.
Sure. That's like that's casual in China. Yeah,
right. We'll give you the day. We'll give you an extra hour off if you do this.
And so, like, basically, the rules are like it's 2v2, and whoever pushes the highest GR after 24 hours like is the winner. And then
that's cool.
Team,
and they're brand new characters or what?
Yeah, brand new characters. And each team gets to like veto like a class that the other team can't play.
Oh.
Right?
Ooh. You know that they would veto if let's just say we were a team, right?
Sure.
They would veto Necro and Crusader instantly.
Yeah.
They would.
We have to think about this though, because that would be a bad decision. So you'd think that so someone's playing against me and you, and they veto Crusader and Necro. Like when Crusader and Necro's never pushed 2-man. Like you got to think about meta.
They would veto Necro for sure because it's in like it'll fit anything, and that's by far your best.
Do you think that people would? I think people would just veto Monk and Wizard, the clear winner of 2-man meta right now.
Yeah.
And Necro would be strong, but I don't know. That's what
I'm with you. I'm with you for sure. They would definitely, you'd look at the boards and see what's top tier 2s and try to veto. The thing you got to realize, though, you got 24 hours, man. You don't have time to juice up that Star Pact Wizard. You know what I mean? So, and Crusader, Monk Crusader, I think would be strong in a 24-hour battle. I don't know, man. It'd be hard.
Yeah,
that would be so fun. It would be fun.
Yeah, it'd be crazy fun.
I would do it.
Imagine if they did it they did it legit, where they had like I don't know how they would like filter who's like a pro player. But if they just had like streamers doing it one weekend, like on Diablo, how freaking awesome would that be? Like, to watch your favorite streamers.
I mean,
go against
I
each
guess
other.
we could take initiative ourselves and still do the challenge.
True.
You know, if we wanted to.
Yeah.
It would, I don't personally wouldn't want to have to organize that.
Yeah.
But you could, man.
I know you're listening.
Yeah, Leviathan. You out there?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah. That means I'd have to stream 24 hours straight again.
Yeah.
I don't know if my body could take that.
I don't want to be your partner.
It'd be fun, man. That'd be a good time.
It'd be so fun. Super fun.
Yeah. The softcore death penalty.
Yeah, this I found was pretty interesting. So, again, we're gonna plug Quinn. Quinn69, one of the biggest Diablo 3 streamers. He's come back this season. He's a big hardcore fan. And like we say all the time, most players do still play softcore, guys. But one of the things he talks about is how he thinks that softcore should have an XP penalty. He says that in the sense that would kind of filter out like what he kind of refers to as like fake builds. So something like Blight Spear, for example, where you're really squishy, you can fly through a rift if you play right, but you are if something looks at you wrong, you misplay, like you're dead. Yeah.
Right.
And I first let me just throw that to you. Like, what do you think about that? How would you feel about an XP penalty if you die?
I like it, but the thing that people have to realize, if you're listening to this podcast, you are probably not a casual Diablo player. Probably. Chances are you're not. We're not casual Diablo players. So the more elite you are at the game, the more you kind of surround yourself in this little bubble of this is how the game should be played, because I play it so much that I need these things to keep me in it, like keep my mindset in it, keep my focus in it. I personally like it. I think it'd be cool. But if you step back a little bit and you look at it, there are millions of players that aren't like us, and we're definitely the minority. And I think XP penalty to the casual player who might get Paragon 500 or 600 in a season would be pretty bad.
Yeah, I agree.
But then you're catering to the casual. And we all know what happens to games that cater to the casual.
Yeah.
They die. It just, the system, like it's such a fine balance between catering to the elite and catering to the casual, and finding that middle ground where the casual wants the things the elite player has. The elite player feels like he's elite because he has these things that other people don't. And I think that's, I don't know. I don't know. I personally like it, but I could definitely see so many people hating that.
Now to say what I think. I actually, generally speaking, I tend to agree with Quinn on a lot of things, but I could not possibly disagree more with this. Why should I, as a player, be pigeonholed into playing tanky builds? Like, why? Why should it, why? It's already, we're already pigeonholed into playing.
What are we talking about the penalty? I think that's XP loss. Are we talking, but how much?
Like, say you're grinding away,
1%,
so like PoE,
5%.
You can grind away for I don't know, 2-3 hours in the high levels, and then you die once, and you basically just negated 2 to 3 hours of your playtime.
See, and I'm not okay with that. Like that feels bad. If we're talking about a couple percent, is every bar on Diablo 5%? I don't remember. Is it 5 or 10? Do they? Maybe I'm mistaken games now. But either way, whatever, they don't even have the bar. I don't even know what I'm talking about. But
10 slots.
If it's like 5%, man, that feels bad to me. If it's 1% or 2%, it's enough where you die. You're like, ah, shit. I don't want to die.
Yeah.
So
I really don't like the idea, because I feel like Diablo, since it's not the best balance we've ever seen. We're already kind of pigeonholed into playing builds that perform better than others. Now you want to pigeonhole us into builds that are tanky. So I'm going to give the perfect example of why I think this would suck, not from a necro perspective. Demon Hunter. The multi-shot Demon Hunter, you can run Gold Wrap, T13, you're a god, it's amazing. Now you want to step that up to GR90. Multi-shot's going to perform better than Shadow. But you
get hit once.
Why would you do it? You wouldn't risk it. You would just run Shadow inside of a GR.
Right.
That's so silly to me. Why would you force people to play tanky builds?
This kind of goes back to the debate, and I'm sure you get this a lot too, but it seems like there is a strong hatred for softcore players from the hardcore community. Do you get this feeling? If I'm a new person will stop by and I'm playing, and then I'll die, and they're like, "Oh, I thought you were playing hardcore. Bye."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it's just I get that they probably want to see people, that maybe they want to see somebody die in hardcore.
Oh, yeah, for
it's
sure.
amazing for them to watch somebody's emotions get shredded.
People love to watch Quinn die. Yeah.
But it seems like there's just a lot of animosity from hardcore to softcore community, and I don't know. I personally am glad both exist. I like it. I'm happy there's hardcore.
Yeah,
I don't like it. It's not my thing, but I'm really glad it exists for those people that love it.
Yeah.
So
I think, I'm glad that it's there as well. I personally, if I had to pick, I pick softcore. I also think that, hardcore plays slower. It's more exciting when you proc, you're like, oh my god, I can't die. Oh my god. And it's exciting from a viewer perspective, or to watch a streamer play hardcore. But it does, you proc, you're sitting in town, 30 seconds to a minute, whatever. You're going back, you're playing slower, you're playing tankier builds. To me, it's much less exciting. Part of the reason I love this game so much is I can fly through Rift at 1,000 miles per hour on Blightspear and play out of my mind to try to not die. But I'll still maybe die 1 in every 10, sometimes 1 in every 5 if I get Lacunis. But it's just stupid. I don't want to have to leave a Rift just because I saw Lacunis, period. There's no way I'm even staying in there. That's
right.
Ugh.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I wouldn't be opposed to a penalty if it was minor. 1%, I don't know, man. I get your point, and I kind of agree with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I 100% get your point, because I didn't really think about it in that sense, that if there was a penalty to it, it really would pigeonhole me into playing specific builds.
Yeah.
So it'd have to be a pretty minor penalty. But if you're talking about negating hours of work, then there's no way. That to me is borderline hardcore. If you're throwing away investment time, that's not softcore at all, in my opinion. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I think Diablo 4, there are so many ideas, and I'm so excited
Yeah.
for
Sure.
BlizzCon. We talked about this, and I'm derailing slightly, but we talked about this a little bit. If they announce Diablo 4 at BlizzCon, what do you think the soonest they would get it out would be? You think it's still another year away?
Oh yeah, I don't think 2020 at least.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
That's so long.
would be
that
so
feels
surprised and so hurt if they were just done with Diablo 3, because it's like you've just taken one giant leap in the right direction with 261, and now you just want to like peace out. Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, the more time goes on, the more I start to think they are.
Yeah.
What's your percentage on you thinking that we're in maintenance mode? Like, if you had to give it a percentage.
See, and I kind of get a little hype because we know the season end date, and like it just makes me feel like something's lining up with something. But let's just assume nothing happens season 15. I think if nothing happens season 15, we know. Like, we just
100%. Yeah. I'm at like 90% right now.
Really?
I think there's a 10% chance maybe we're going to get something like that. Part of me wants to be like, we have that end date. We know it's coming. It's lining up because they're going to drop this or drop that.
Yeah.
I think if they drop anything at BlizzCon, it's going to be D2 and then a D2 remaster.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll announce D4 and say, hey, it's coming in a year, but we got D2 right now. You know, you can buy it next week or something, although I think they would. Do you think they'd beta test that?
Oh yeah. They've beta test
D2. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. They got to have something for us. But all right, I derailed us. I was just
that's good.
Just dreaming.
Yeah.
But
yeah, to go back to I'd love to like. I would love to. Obviously, I would love to have Quinn on the stream, or someone that would bring up like legitimate reasons for why they should have softcore XP penalty. Like, but I mean, who is it benefiting? Like, really, I just don't see the point. If someone wants to Zerg or whatever, like whatever, go for it. It sucks to play that way. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm more like you. I think part of the reason I didn't like PoE is because of how slow it felt in the beginning, and maybe the end game in PoE is a lot faster. Does it have the same speed Diablo has?
It's insane. The end game for PoE are insanely fast. It's like you're flying around Blightspear like 1,000 miles per hour.
Okay,
but
maybe I should. Maybe someday I'll give it a shot.
Long time to get to that point. Like,
if season 15 is the same, then maybe I'll give PoE an actual real shot.
Yeah, you should.
So, speaking of PoE,
yeah. So
they did something I wish Blizzard would do.
No joke, man. Like, PoE is crushing it lately as far as like they're communicating with the community. They're super open about, hey, these are the things we're working on. Here's what our plans are for the future. And guess what? On top of all this, like, we're gonna do these ban waves like crazy, and it's crazy. Like, so they're throwing out ban waves left and right, which makes me so jealous.
Right.
And it makes me kind of hopeful for PoE that maybe now that they're doing all these ban waves, like maybe they're thinking about adding like an actual leaderboard instead of like this level leaderboard that they have now. Actually, end game competitive nature to PoE. That's what my hope for is for them. But
a real leaderboard,
an actual leaderboard, yeah. Because right now, like, they can get away with having bots, and they've gotten away with it for years and years and years because like it doesn't really affect anyone because it's just economy. But I mean, I would hope that the reason they're all doing this is because,
I'm not invested in PoE at all. I have 3 or 4 hours of gameplay time total. So many people love it. It's the same genre as Diablo. Eventually, at some point, if Diablo 3 is in maintenance mode and they don't give us anything new, I'd be happy to check it out. A lot of these games are making strides in the right direction. And the games that seem to be going and making these big strides and doing the right things, it seems like it's the free-to-play games. You got Warframe, which is the free-to-play, communicating. They're reaching out to communities. They're hosting streams. They're saying all the things. They're super transparent. PoE's doing it. Obviously, Fortnite's set the standard, but there's so many of these free to play games that are
I think
are doing it, man.
Like Blizzard's they're just outdated at this point. Like they are sticking to their whole methodology of like, we're gonna be super secretive. You guys aren't gonna know about stuff until we're ready for you to know about it. They are not open with the community basically on any game. It's like Blizzard's still like, the people still in charge of Blizzard are just like dinosaurs from like the old age of gaming. Like this is just not the way you run gaming anymore. Like you look at Fortnite, you look at it's just crazy. Like you guys, like how much longer are you guys gonna do this until you're like, oh hey, let's jump into the 20th century and actually talk to our community?
The game director for WoW has actually they're doing like weekly podcasts, and they apologized, which blew my mind. They actually apologized for the patch of WoW that came out last week. The servers were down for the whole day, and it was pretty bad. And they had to roll back some features and things like that. It did not go like they wanted it to. But I was surprised to see that they stepped up and they were like, hey, you know what? We screwed this up. We're sorry. You deserve better. We'll do better in the future. And then they actually explained what happened. And to me, it's like, man, that level of transparency was pretty cool. It was cool for me as a player of the game to see, like, I was curious, like, why are the servers screwed all day? Were you getting DDoSed? Was it bugs? Like, what happened? Sure. And for them to explain it was pretty cool. No, and awesome. I would love to see the same thing happen in Diablo. I want them to say, I want somebody just to get on and be like, hey guys, we're not updating the game anymore because we're really working on the next project. We can't tell you about it right now, but stick with us. We know you want some content. Yeah. We're working our asses off. That's all, that's it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it just doesn't make sense why they like what. So I'm trying to think, like, in my own head, like, why would they not do that? Like, are they really continuing to sell just a ton of copies of the Necro Pack? Like, what's the reasoning behind, like, what would be the business reasoning behind not telling us?
Like, what are they hiding? Like, if they just say we're working on future Diablo content or IP or anything, they don't even have to name anything to say we're working on the future of Diablo. That's all they'd have to say.
And they haven't really said that. We're just gathering that from their
they don't even have to.
Like, it's ridiculous.
They could say that.
It's ridiculous.
And they could say that and not reveal anything and yet satisfy everybody.
Yeah.
And say, okay, well, they're doing something.
Sure. Unless
they're just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Like what if they're legitimately not doing anything?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. It's just.
Do you think it would be smart for them to say we're not? I mean, I imagine they couldn't say that. They couldn't come out and say, "Hey guys, we haven't really started production of D4 yet. We're not sure if we're going to do it." I would probably kill, but they can't be making money on Diablo 3 anyways.
Yeah, I don't know.
How
I can't understand the reasoning. Like, it just seemed like none of the people higher ups talking Diablo. It doesn't even seem like. Community managers.
We didn't even get pets. We didn't even get pets with BFA, or we didn't get wings with BFA or portrait frame.
Why?
Like, every game got something, but Diablo.
Tell us what's up, man. I just don't get it.
I don't know.
Anyways.
Yeah, that kind of, I don't know. That streams back. I'm a big stats guy. I'm going to switch gears because we'll try to stay a little more positive.
Sure.
So I'm going to switch gears. I like random stats, and this is completely off topic, just a random stat number that I saw. I found a website today that was listing statistics for Twitch.
Okay.
Did you know that during the peak time yesterday, there were 62,000 people streaming to Twitch?
Streamers.
62,000 streamers.
Wow.
That's impressive to me, man.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. It's like having a cable set up with 61,000 stations.
Yeah. That's insane. I wonder how like what I wish we could find out, like, the breakdown too. Like, how many is Fortnite, how many is IRL,
Yeah, I think they're worst at stats like that. I'm a big stats person. I could sit there and look at stupid stats all day. It consumes so much time that I don't have. But I was just looking at random stats, and it was the smallest portion of the day was 21,000, and the largest was 61. And I thought that was kind of crazy.
That is cool.
And then you had some comments about Ninja. What did you have?
I mean, it's just a stupid story that's circulating right now. It's so dumb. Have you heard this?
I've seen the word and people commenting with the word, but I'm like, I don't understand.
There's this thing on social media, like they wanted to spread like a fake news story about Ninja, like basically dying, I guess. And so along the way, it got transformed to Ninja like died of ligma. And
like, what's ligma? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's so stupid, man. It's for you to say what's ligma, and then someone says ligma balls.
Okay, so it's a joke.
That's how incredibly stupid this is.
So it's a troll.
It's an absolute troll, and it's like blowing up, and it's getting even more perpetuated because like it's clearly annoying Ninja, and so Ninja's like, just start banning the people that say ligma, right, in my chat. And of course, you can't say that to Twitch chat, right? Like that's real Twitch chat number one.
Oh my god!
So now everyone's just like ligma. It's just so
ligma.
Stupid. So stupid. And it's just
it got me on it. I'm like, what's ligma?
It's so
ligma
dumb.
balls.
So dumb.
Oh my god. That's funny. There's never a stop. There's never like it's maybe it's because it's what we're in, but like the pop culture of Twitch is like there is new shit I see shit in chat every day.
Yes.
And I'm like, what the hell is that?
What does it
like,
even mean?
Every day. What does this mean?
Just this week alone, it's like Monka S, Pepe Hands, and
I don't know Pepe Hands. I've seen it though, but what? I don't know what it means.
I think it means like it's supposed to convey like depression, kind of like emo-ness. I don't really know.
I don't know.
Like,
like I feel like I'm getting old because I don't know these things. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute.
It's ridiculous.
I can't keep up with the pop culture. Every day there's new stuff.
Yeah.
So
and it drives me crazy because like people can like I can just assume out there in the world there's like probably people like that actually use these terms like out loud, like like how many people is Twitch inhibiting because like they go to their job and they're like, oh yeah, I didn't get the promotion, Pepe Hands. It's like, what are you saying?
Do you say Kappa? Like you probably say Kappa.
No out loud. No.
Yeah.
No.
You've never said it?
Do you say lol out loud?
Oh yeah.
Oh Jesus.
I have said lol. I've 100% said lol.
I've said rip, but rip like it
I
means
say rip all the time.
Something. Like it was a thing before the internet. Like
so I'll say Kappa if I'm talking to gamer friends that understand what it means. I have said Kappa before. Not often. Rip I use all the time, and I find myself using rip at work a lot now because I say rip all the time. And so we had an issue with the server actually, recently, and I'm like, oh fuck, rip. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, huh? And like, and the coworker said, what? And I'm like, oh, it just means it's dead. Like
rest in peace,
I just completely diverted it because I didn't even want to get, go down that road.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We're just dumbing down the language, emote by emote.
But it's the same. It's the same with emojis and Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just like leet speech. It's all.
Yeah, for sure.
It's all there.
Yeah.
So. All right, man. You want to hit some Twitter questions up?
I mean, if we're on the topic of just idiots in the media right now, like I wanted to talk about this one story last week because it's so crazy.
I think I know where you're going with this.
It's so crazy.
I know where you're going with this.
And like, so I don't follow Elon Musk a lot, but what the crap? And like, I've always heard like great things. Like some of my friends are like, he's such a smart guy, and he's like, well, I always hear like, well, Elon Musk says this, and like he's this really smart guy. But so basically, he gets called out on social media, and he actually like replies to it, and like so he goes out and tries to like help the Thailand like people stuck in a cave situation. and they makes this sub, and it's supposed to like do stuff. I don't even know the full story, but like the guy that was in charge of like rescuing, like the main diver or something, was like, yeah, so he came out with this sub, like didn't really do a whole lot. It's just like this whole publicity stunt. It's like he just kind of like shit on Elon Musk a bit. And then Elon Musk comes out and he's like, he calls this guy a pedophile.
I saw this, dude. Is it real? Did you research? Like, is this real?
Yes.
I instantly wrote this off as fake. So you're saying that Elon Musk really called him a pedophile?
I didn't believe it at all. I was just like, no. Someone like super rich and well respected, he wouldn't just like blatantly call someone a pedo. Like, that's insane.
Oh my god.
It's absolutely insane. Like, what do you mean? And so then like my first thought immediately jumps to like, okay, what does he know? Like, he's a really powerful man.
Right. He's got some people.
Yeah.
He's got people that did their research.
But at the same time, like me thinking that, like, that sucks for that guy, because it's like, now that guy, I mean, he's gonna sue, obviously. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
But like,
yeah, I mean,
his reputation's on the line, because it's like people are like, well, if Elon Musk, like one of the smartest people in the world, is calling this guy a pedophile, like, it's got to be true.
He knows something.
Right.
Right. And then not only that, you're gonna have everybody digging through his shit. Like, he's living under a magnifying glass now.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he may not be a pedophile, but do you know what kind of porn he watches every night?
Yeah, it's
you know,
fucked
like,
up, man.
Like his life is on blast, man.
It just makes you like, you know, like the people you think are intelligent are the most stable in society. Like,
I think power corrupts people, though, man. it does, dude. You know it does.
Absolutely.
It does. Like, even I mean, there's stories that you can. It's hard to keep yourself in check when you can. How much is this guy worth, man? Elon Musk is worth what?
Stupid. I have no idea.
Billions and billions on billions. You know, I mean, he probably sleeps and he's like, was it Scrooge McDuck? Who's the one that used to dive into the gold on DuckTales?
Yeah, Scrooge. Right?
It was Scrooge, right?
No idea.
He's probably Scrooge.
Yeah,
he's got a room full of gold coins.
But one of the things I thought was freaking hilarious, like someone tweeted out, because so basically Elon Musk is like, you know, you're a pedo, blah blah blah, and so what's his name? The guy from Silicon Valley, the Indian guy. It's hilarious, dude. He tweets, sometimes white guys visit Thailand to show off their useless submarines or whatever, instead of assuming everyone visits Thailand because they're a pedo.
Right.
I thought that was freaking hilarious.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah,
that's funny.
That happened a couple of weeks ago. I wanted to talk about it last week, but it's just like,
I can't imagine that you have time to play other games. But this is a question that I wanted to ask.
Sure.
Because I get this a lot. Do people ask you in your stream, do they come in and stop by and they say, hey, I'm getting burned out. What can I do to stay motivated to keep playing?
I love this question. Have we talked about
Do you get this one a lot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So, So the way I always answer the question, and it's honestly the 1000% the truth, I think that every game reaches a point where it becomes redundant and like repetitive. Absolutely. There's no way of getting away from that. But it's within that redundancy and like repetitiveness that I think Diablo excels, because there are a lot of inherent dynamic features to the redundancy. Like every single time I go into a rift, I've seen that rift level, I've seen that map type 1,000 times, but I never really know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm going to face. I don't know what kind of combinations the rift's going to throw at me. I have no idea. So I think it's the level at which Diablo does the redundancy, and like there's a lot of dynamic aspect to it. I think really, although it's very repetitive, very redundant, every game is, it just does it better. And that's what has always kept me coming back to Diablo.
But what do you do if you're getting bored with it? Do you have any advice? Like, I'll tell you how I answer the question.
Sure.
Do I get bored with the game? For sure. I definitely do. And I play enough where there are times where I'm like, man, do I want to play Diablo tonight, or do I want to stream something else? Maybe. I definitely have those moments.
Sure.
To me, the thing that makes Diablo fun is the social aspect. And this game has always been social to me. And I think that's where we differ. And that's more why I wanted your opinion, because you play a lot of solo, whereas I've always played with people. Like before I streamed, I would grab my friends and say, hey, let's play Diablo tonight. And if they weren't on, I probably didn't play, but if they were on, we get together and we play together. I mix up classes, and when I start to get super bored with the class, jump on something else for a little bit. And playing with people, Diablo is a game where you can just kind of go automation. Like you just go to autopilot and you're going through the motions to grind rifts, like the speed. If you're doing T13s and farming keys, or if you're doing 90s for gym ups, things like that, you can just kind of autopilot and then have conversations with people about it. But my biggest piece of advice is don't play. If you're burning out, play something else, man. It's okay to play a different game. It's okay to play, there are so many good games right now.
For sure.
It doesn't mean never play Diablo again, but it means take a break for a couple days, man. Right. Go try Destiny, try WoW, go try Monster Hunter's coming out on PC. There are so many Division, there's so many games you can play to fulfill that.
Sure.
PoE is free,
Yeah. And so I think that only would further make you realize what I was just talking about. You're gonna play this new game. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting for a while. You're gonna reach the end game. It's gonna become repetitive and redundant. And you'll be like, you know what? Diablo has really got a little masterpiece in and of itself happening in the game. Regardless of how much we'd love to see changes and all this other stuff, they did the repetitive redundancy right. And I think I think, and that's
there are so many.
Go ahead.
Nope.
Okay, so that's one of the great things. You can be as crazy no life hardcore in Diablo, or you can be as filthy casual once a week. It doesn't matter. That's what's so great about this game. And the other great thing, and a good reason I play solo a lot of the time, is so I'm running through a rift at 178 miles per hour, right?
Yep.
Someone asked me a question, chat. Boom. Pause. And that's the same. You can apply that to anything in real life. You're playing a game, you're having a good time. Oh shit, my laundry's done. Pause. Go downstairs. Nothing changed. That's such a great thing in games. It's just be you're not letting people down. You're
as long
not
as you're playing
slowing
solo.
down your group, right? You just pause.
Just pause. Honestly, I play in groups so much I forget you can pause. So when I'm playing solo, I never do. And I kind of remember the other day, when I push, I sit very still and my fingers will start to go numb. When you're pushing on Crusader, it takes me all of 15 minutes to clear the rift, Right. So my fingers start to go tingly and numb, and I pause and I'm like, oh, all right, here we go. Sure. And that is cool. I think there are so many things that a lot of games could borrow from Diablo as far as the randomness of their tile sets is such an awesome feature. To never know the map and have the map memorized is cool. And if you play enough, you learn tile sets. There are structures to it.
Sure.
There is a shape in the Act 3 Asmodan levels that it kind of looks like the male genitalia. I don't know if you've ever seen me talk about this on stream, but there is one tile and it looks like you're traveling out of the male genitalia. Nice. I'll just leave it at that. Cool. That's how you know which way to go. When you see that tile set, gotta go out. Gotta go out the front. So there are definitely tile sets. I'm sorry for that chat, by the way. But there are definitely tile sets that do it. But the randomness is really cool. The random mobs are really cool.
And you look at WoW, and I don't even know the full details, but WoW, as far as I've known, I've heard Quinn talk about it, it's they kind of stole Greater Rifts with mythic dungeons.
Yeah, they did. I think a lot of people copied that idea. Yeah, with the endless, endless pushing, and it's cool, man. It's really awesome feature in WoW. That's one of my favorite features that they've added in the last 10 years. So I'm thank you for stealing that.
And here's the thing, and it's this is what so we're gonna take a sidetrack real quick about WoW. Okay, what drives me crazy is so I logged into the pre-patch. I've noticed I have less skills, which is great because they're just constantly dumbing down the game. But
Fluff playing WoW.
I know. I logged in pre-patch. Oh my god. But so I have less skills, whatever. The thing that's sucks to me is so they have this mythic thing. Why don't they do that for solo as well. So they have all these crazy mechanics, and they have like something like Mage Tower where it's like this really hard stuff that you can do solo, right?
Yeah.
Like, why don't they just do the same thing? Like, you could have, you know, your own solo mythic, and then there's all these mechanics here to like.
They kind of do, and I took a break from WoW, so maybe chat can help refresh my memory on this. But they did a thing in Mista Pandaria called what was it called? Was it called Challenge Rift? No, it wasn't Challenge Rift. Arena? Challenge Rifts were cool too. They had like a class thing. It was like for healers and tanks and DPS, where you had to go in and then like solo heal endlessly. Proving grounds, yeah. And you had to go in there and do it. And the proving grounds were really cool. And some people got crazy hardcore into that. And I did the healer one. I was playing a priest, a disc priest, and I tried to do the healing one. I think you had to get to like the 30th wave to get some special title. And I could get damn close, but I never got it. And I kind of like, it wasn't really my thing so much, so I stopped doing it. But there were people that were smashing that, just having a blast. So if it still exists, man, that's a cool feature, and they could definitely put some focus in it.
Yeah.
I think Blizzard and a lot of these companies realize that social play is what keeps people coming back. I think there's a stronger tie in the social roots than the solo roots. Like when you get cool things, you want to show them off.
Sure. Yeah.
You want to show off the cool transmog or the cool armor or the wings on Diablo or the mount on WoW or, you know, the weapons in Destiny. Whatever it is that you have, you want to show that shit off, you know? And I think that there's always going to be some kind of social tie-in.
Sure. But if you think about Diablo, like I'm doing these rat runs. I'm playing with other players. I like, you know, maybe I'll do like a bounty split farm or whatever. I'm playing with other people. But ultimately, it's just for me. Like, really. Yeah. It's just to get me higher.
Well, it always works that way. Even if you had your crew that were like, let's say that you're pushing, like your thing is 4-man leaderboards.
Yeah.
It's still all about you. If you get that upgrade, you still want it for you. If somebody in your party gets a primal, you know, Sith of the Cycle, you don't care. You don't care if they get a Scythe. Scythe of the Cycle. If they get a primal Scythe of the Cycle, you don't care about that. Like, I mean, you care. You're happy for them. You're like, sweet.
Yeah, give it to me.
Get it.
Yeah,
I didn't get it.
Drop
you know
it.
what I mean? Like, I want it.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, but yeah, that's where like, and that's why I think WoW needs is like, so you get all this sweet juice so that you can like push the leaderboard solo, or you get all this sweet juice so that like you can fly through rifts solo, like I do, speed farming solo. I love it. Like WoW should have something like that, and they just don't.
Yeah. So you want them to cater more to the solo. Do you think you would play? Do you really think you would play if they had some solo style game modes
honestly,
in there?
So for EverQuest 2, I played I was main tank for the best guild worldwide, just for Strike. The only reason I tanked and played as much and hardcore as I did was to get the absolute best gear imaginable so I could solo content that you should not be able to solo. And that was my whole, like, that was what kept me going. It's like, cool, now I can go farm and get like this crazy stuff that I can sell or whatever, and I don't have to depend on anybody. Like that was always my, like, that was what always kept me coming back.
I get a lot of enjoyment out of soloing the old content in WoW, but you can't solo. I mean, I guess there are some people that could maybe solo current content.
Yeah.
If they want to spend 50 hours doing it. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm down. I think the solo content would be cool. I think it would definitely be an addition to a lot of games to have it. But I don't know if it would be a strong enough hook. That's kind of like, would it be a strong enough hook to make you play the game right now?
Right.
I don't know.
It just depends. I mean, so yeah, BFA is going to come out, and like every streamer and their mom is going to go play BFA.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you know, there's a part of me that wants to check it out, but I don't know.
I want to play it for me personally, and the only time that I like, most of my game time is streaming. You know, like I don't have, like I work full time, and then I stream full time, and then I have a family and kids. You know, so it's like I have all of my game time is stream time. So am I going to stream it? Probably a little.
Yeah.
is it because I like think it's so awesome that I want it? Like, come stream with me. It's just like because that's the only time I have to play it. So
Yeah.
sorry, fam. Let's go check it out.
And we talked about that before. It's like we as streamers, we could just be like, you know what? All we're gonna ever stream is Diablo. But I feel like that's stupid. Like we're gonna look like these crazy hardcore Diablo fans if we only ever stream Diablo when we play other games offline. But to me, it's just like, why do that? Like just play.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I mean I definitely get, you know what? Do you get slack on your channel for when you play rats?
Yeah. I get slack on my channel if I play anything but a necro.
Yeah, if I'm doing rats, I have people that come on and they're like, "Oh, you're running rats. Well, see you tomorrow." You know what I mean? Instantly. And I'm like, "Okay. Have fun." You know? Like, what are you going to say? But it's I think you get the same thing for variety. The way that Twitch is set up in general, it discourages the mentality of Twitch, I guess, discourages you to break off from your main game.
Yeah, for sure.
Because like if I go stream any other game, I'm instantly at 50% or less of my normal viewership.
Which makes sense because you've worked so much time in one game, and that's what people want to see you play. But yeah, it does
exactly. So and then it's scary because you're like, well, if I come back, are they gonna
gonna walk away? Yeah, no, for sure.
Gonna not do this and that. Yeah. So I get it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's grab some Twitter questions real quick. Darksider says, and I'm not 100% sure what he means by this. Maybe you can decipher it some. If you could choose any game to never end, would it be Diablo or an MMO like WoW? By never end, do you mean the developer continuing to support the game forever with constant updates? Or Probably. Do you mean a storyline that just has some loop where it never finishes? Yeah,
it's always supported.
I agree.
And changed and updated. Yeah.
It feels like WoW has been supported forever. It's been like 15 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you pick? A game to never end?
Diablo.
I would love to get more contents to Diablo.
What game would I pick?
If I would pay money, like I would throw money at Blizzard for Diablo content.
Yeah.
I don't even care what it is. You could give me stash space, wings. I don't think I'd buy portrait frames, but I would buy stash space, wings, armory slots, probably. Definitely character classes or expansions, storylines. Would you pay for PvE content? Would you pay for a campaign mission in Diablo?
I would pay like a $15
like instantly,
subscription. Like I wouldn't even think about it. Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. So I would pick WoW or Diablo for sure. 100%.
Easy.
Demonic Grizz says, would you like to see them somehow include unused legendary gems into the current sets or make new ones to use? Yes. I mean, it would be a switch up of meta, which means they're updating things. So
yeah,
100%.
We've always said, like, I would love, like, if you pick your legendary gems, like, it is a difficult decision. Like, imagine if that was like, oh gosh, they're all so good. Like, oh, should I go with this one, this rift? If it was like that, that'd be great.
Can you though? Could you think they could find that nirvana of balance?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think there's too many gems. I wouldn't mind seeing them prune a little bit.
Oh yeah.
And then make the choices we have actually meaningful.
Yeah.
Without nerfing stuff though, it seems like every time you start to buff other things, you always want to nerf stuff. Like Trapped is the best gem in the game. It has been since it came out.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean nerf Trapped. Like let's remove some of the garbage and juice up some of the other ones and make it a choice. You know?
And I think that's part of the process. Like if we're gonna go back and we're gonna say, if they power creep everything 120 and there's like this, there's basically a new foundation of the game, right? And you can build off of that. You can start pruning and tweaking and if they just have that initial balance, like there's so much they can do from there. But of course they have to actually do something.
Brando said, as a kid growing up, did you watch cartoons? And if so, what was your favorite?
I feel like we're going to show our age by answering this question.
Yeah, man. I watched cartoons, of course. It was Saturday morning cartoons when I was a kid growing up. Now it's not even like that anymore, I don't think.
Yeah.
But Saturday morning cartoons, and of course, if Fluff answers it without this this choice, then something's wrong with them. And it was Ninja Turtles, dude.
Ninja Turtles. We should have been like on 3. Say your fave. It was definitely Ninja Turtles. Yeah.
Ninja Turtles, dude. 100%.
Without question.
Yeah, for sure. And there were other shows that I watched growing up. Like the Batman show was pretty cool. I don't know if it had a name. Just
the cartoon.
Yeah.
That means you're watching cartoons a little later in life.
It was
that
Batman.
Wasn't when you were a kid. Anymore.
It was cool. It was worth it. I watched it. And then Roasted Peanut says, bacon or sausage?
Oh,
there is a correct answer
tough,
to this.
Man, that's so tough.
There is a correct answer to this.
Fuck. I mean, I guess sausage. There's just more implications of what you can do with sausage.
Fail.
You can just do more with it.
Fail. Bacon. 100% bacon.
Why?
Sausage. Why? You guys heard it here.
Bacon's delicious. Don't get me wrong. Bacon is great, but you just you eat the bacon slice. Like, what else do you do with bacon? You chop it up and put in green beans and stuff.
You can make BLT. You can make,
but that's still like a piece of bacon.
Bacon on your hamburger. You can make just bacon. I mean, just bacon. Put bacon in a salad. You can put bacon on. What can you not put bacon on?
Chat is raging about this.
What can you not put bacon on?
I mean, lots of things.
Like ice cream. Like that's the only thing that comes to mind. Like,
sure.
You don't put bacon on ice cream.
Certain foods, it would be like
any main course dish. Like you could, I have never tried this, but if you had a big juicy piece of lasagna and you threw some bacon on top of it, that lasagna just got upgraded.
Bro,
it
over
just
sausage?
got upgraded.
Yeah. Lots of sausage. Oh my God.
If you had a plate of scrambled eggs and you throw some bacon on it, it's an upgrade.
Or you could scrambled eggs and have a little bit of sausage in there. It's delicious.
Yeah. I mean, no, I'm just giving you a hard time. I love sausage too.
I like bacon as well. It's not that I don't like bacon. You're asking me to pick.
What things are you going to do with your sausage that you can't do with bacon?
I mean, how many different kinds of sausage are there, and how many different kinds of bacon are there?
I don't know. I mean, there's spicy sausage and regular. Like, what other kinds do you need?
Oh my God! Well, we need a whole podcast for this. We just next week a whole thing, 30 minutes.
That's really it. I got one follow-up question. This one's kind of more from me.
I don't
Halo 6. So you're,
that's more for you.
You almost went the whole podcast, and I'm gonna goat you into this. Okay. You almost went the whole podcast without saying that you were a former Halo pro.
God, I never mentioned it because I'm so humble.
So, but since you're a former Halo pro,
Halo 6, chat doesn't know that.
I've heard. Halo 6, I think they announced that it's not so. Microsoft has this program called Play Anywhere, and I think what that means is if a game has Play Anywhere on it, then if you buy it for Xbox, you can also play it on PC.
Yeah.
Or if you buy it for PC, you can play it on your Xbox.
Yeah.
And this is like Microsoft's big thing. Like this is kind of like their whole push to like F you Sony and all this kind of stuff.
Sure.
They're excluding their major title from this, from the sounds of it, that Halo will not be a Play Anywhere game. But if it comes out on PC and Xbox at the exact same time, where are you going to buy it on?
PC.
PC for
There's
sure.
There's no way they wouldn't make PC controller support. There's just no way. And even if they did, then I would just have to adapt. Because if Halo comes out on PC and Xbox, there's no way the competitive scene is on Xbox. There's just no way. So I would just adapt.
Did Halo 5 launch on PC at the same time? Is it on PC now? I think it is, right?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I really don't think so.
It's still not on PC?
I want to say no.
All right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought that it did. I figured that they'll give Xbox like a couple months exclusivity, and then,
Well, that's stupid. They're just killing the PC scene, I feel like, if they do that, but
I don't know. But anyway, that was just curious. I was curious if you were dedicated to a console or not, or if you'd rather have PC.
I don't. I'd rather honestly, I'd rather plug my controller into my PC. My PC, I can customize. It's my own hardware that I've selected. It's the best of the best stuff that I like. Like a console is here's what Microsoft thinks you should have. Pass.
Yeah. I'm with you. That's it. That was my question.
Cool.
That's all I got. I honestly just wanted to goat you into saying you're a former Halo pro.
I've never said that. It's a worldwide first.
And I've never talked about WoW on stream.
Oh.
So, on podcast, I mean, we're good. We're set.
Cool.
So,
now there's 2 drinking games per podcast.
Oh, is there? They haven't. Oh, for the podcast, you guys are going to get trashed.
Yeah.
Trashed.
Wow.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
That's all I got.
Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Central Time. That's Chicago time for episode 13. In the meantime, if you want to find more of me, I'm ThaPChild. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, everywhere at ThaPChild.
And I am Lord_Fluffy, double those underscores on Twitter. Easy peasy.
There you go.
We'll see you guys next week.